What if I told you that some banned passenger jets, deemed too dangerous, too loud, or too outdated, are still secretly flying today? Grounded in the West but active over Iran, Russia, and North Korea, these aircraft refuse to die. They're still carrying passengers in remote corners of the world where different rules apply. In aviation, banned can mean a lot of things. Some aircraft are too loud for Europe or the United States and fail modern noise standards. Others are grounded by sanctions, making it illegal to sell parts, perform maintenance, or even land in certain countries. And sometimes it's not the aircraft that's banned, it's the airline. These carriers get blacklisted when regulators lose confidence in their safety or training. But the common thread is simple. These jets are unwelcome in much of the world, yet they still fly somewhere. After Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, Western countries hit back by sweeping aviation sanctions. Airspace closed, leasing contracts were cancelled, and shipments of aircraft parts were cut off. Boeing and Airbus jets operated by Russian carriers were supposed to be grounded or returned. Instead, they kept flying. Russia responded with a workaround, re-registering the jets under its own aviation authority. This sparked legal battles and raised serious safety concerns. Despite bans, investigative reports showed hundreds of millions of euros worth of parts flowing into Russia through countries like Turkey, India, and the UAE. Russian airlines also turned to wet leasing, a legal grey area where a foreign carrier supplies the aircraft and crew. This kept routes to Istanbul, Dubai, Bangkok, and Cairo active even as Western skies closed. Iran has lived under aviation sanctions for decades, cut off from modern aircraft and spare parts. As a result, Iranian carriers have mastered the art of aviation survival. Their fleets include vintage aircraft like the Airbus A300, A310, and A340. Some were acquired through shady supply chains and shell companies. Cannibalization, stripping parts from grounded planes to fix others, is routine. Investigative reports of Reuters and Wired reveal an underground ecosystem of ingenuity and reverse engineering. Despite all of this, flights from Tehran still connect to Bangkok, Shenzhen, and across the Middle East. These jets fly not because they're welcome, but because necessity demands it. The AN-148 had potential, but after the 2018 crash of Saratov Airlines Flight 703, which killed all 71 people on board, the aircraft fell under scrutiny. Russia grounded the fleet, and Saratov lost its license. Then came the war. Russia and Ukraine's conflict destroyed the aircraft supply chain. Ukraine seized Russian-owned AN-148s and support dried up. Today, the jet survives in a kind of limbo. North Korea's Air Koryo still uses them, and a few fly isolated routes in Russia's Far East. The AN-148 isn't globally banned, but it's a ghost plane, marooned by politics and broken logistics. With its 4 rear-mounted engines and T-tail design, the IL-62 is a time capsule from the 1960s. It's loud, heavy, and banned from most Western airspace. Yet it still flies. North Korea's Air Koryo keeps a few operational. Belarus operates cargo versions under RADA Airlines. Russian VIP and government missions occasionally deploy them. These planes survive because of old parts stockpiles and crews trained to handle their quirks. When you see an IL-62 take off, you're watching a Cold War fossil come alive. Sometimes it's not the planes that are banned, it's the airlines, so carriers use creative legal tactics to keep aircraft flying. Case in point, Belavia, the national airline of Belarus. In 2025, the US Treasury issued General License 11, allowing limited maintenance for 8 Belavia jets. The Commerce Department also removed those aircraft from a key export list. That meant fly, but not to Russia. Such exemptions are increasingly common. Wet leases, third-party operators, and switching air operator certificates let aircraft bypass restrictions. Well, on paper at least. Russia's aviation workarounds didn't stop at paperwork. They became an entire underground system. Without access to official parts or software updates, airlines turned to smuggling and cannibalization. Investigators documented nearly €1 billion worth of components entering Russia via front companies and mislabeled shipments. Maintenance is done without factory support. C and D checks happen using improvised tools. Planes are stripped for parts, then patched together again. Older Russian engineers have revived Soviet-era repair tactics, while younger staff relearn how to improvise. Even insurance has become an issue. Western providers pull out. Russia created its own insurance system, one not recognized by most countries. Still, these jets fly daily to Istanbul, Delhi, and Dubai. Designed in the 1960s, the Tu-134 is loud, inefficient, and banned from most modern airports, but not in North Korea. Air Koryo still lists 2 Tu-134s in its fleet, registrations P813 and P814. They occasionally fly domestic routes or ceremonial flights. Sometimes they pop up on runs to Beijing or Vladivostok. It's a relic, but it's not extinct. For Air Koryo, the Tu-134 is both a functional jet and a symbol of defiance. These rugged Soviet turboprops were built for tough conditions. Many are over 50 years old, loud and prone to failure. Still, they fly. In Russia's Arctic and Siberia, there are no easy replacements. Modern jets can't land on short, icy runways. Crashes, like the fatal AN-24 incident in July 2025, show the risks. But with no alternatives, airlines push these aircraft beyond normal lifespans. Projects like Russia's Ladoga aim to replace them, but until then, the AN-24 and AN-26 are lifelines to isolated towns. Mahan Air isn't flying old junk. It's a modern airline trapped in geopolitical crossfire. Sanctioned by the US since 2011, banned by Germany and France in 2019, hit by EU sanctions in 2024 over drone transfers to Russia, yet it still operates a wide network. Flights connect Tehran to Bangkok, Shenzhen, and especially Istanbul. These routes exist in a diplomatic grey zone, where political interests sometimes override restrictions. Mahan Air is modern, capable, and blacklisted, a contradiction in the sky. No plane on this list defines the jet age like the Boeing 707. First flown in the 1950s, banned under Stage 2 noise regulations by the early 2000s, retired worldwide, except in Iran. Sahar Airlines operated the last passenger-configured 707s until 2019. Flights ran from Tehran to Kish Island and other regional routes. That year, a cargo-configured 707 crashed, marking the end of the type's service. But its legacy lives on. For decades, the 707 symbolized progress and prestige. In Iran, it became a symbol of endurance, proof that even in a changing world, some machines still soar. If you found this glimpse into the outlaw world of aviation fascinating, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the skies. Which of these jets surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And remember, just because a plane is banned doesn't mean it's gone.